Chapter 1. Queen Augusta Windsoro used to love the absolutely wonderful Valley of Gold when she was a child, because it was just such a magical place. She loved running through the wide open fields, waving like a crazy child at the farmers that worked the fields, and she was even told off a few times for stealing strawberries from the immense steep slopes that lined the valley. She had spent so much wonderful time here with her mother and father, and her brother before they all died. They would sing songs, take part in the duties, and help the farmers, and they would reward everyone in their kingdom of Octogi for their amazing work. And even now Augusta loved her wonderful people. The people she loved, protected, and would ultimately sacrifice herself for them. But that valley from her childhood was most certainly dead. Augusta stood in the middle of a wide open field, with immense steep slopes made from grey dirty rock rising above her, and the golden dots of her military had thankfully secured the top of the valley for her. The valley was once filled with lush green grass, crops and joy, but now the ground was cracked hard and charred. The entire valley had been burnt, all the juicy delightful crops were destroyed, and so many corpses laid around her. Ever since Augusta had peacefully taken over the kingdom of Lordago and Longmano, through less peaceful means, she had changed her military to become a very effective fighting force, but clearly it wasn't enough to save the brave men and women that lay dead like fish around her, as she almost swam in a sea of the dead. She knew that a detachment of her military was riding through the valley on their way to help strengthen the border with Jasper, the last free human land, that was also the most powerful, brutal and evil of the human kingdoms. But that was clearly never going to happen. She recognized a lot of the armor here. It was beautifully golden, well-crafted and bore her family's crest proudly on the breastplate, but she also recognized the cold bronze armor of Jasper soldiers. It was always one thing for Jasper to repeatedly send her threats, assassins to kill her, and threaten to burn her country to the ground, but invading this far into her kingdom, that was something else entirely. "This is a mess," a very sexy male said. Augusta grinned when her boyfriend Charleston stood next to her, in his tight-fitting and very beautiful silver knight armor. He was the best man she had ever known, he was so brave, delightful and clever. And even though it had been a year since they had started dating, ever since Longmano became part of her growing empire, she still loved every single day and night with him. The air smelled awful with hints of rotting flesh, smoke and charred flesh, so much so that it overwhelmed her senses, and Augusta coughed again and again. She really hated Jasper. "Jasper's gone too far this time, and these attacks are only getting closer to home," Charleston said. "You do remember Owen's boyfriend?"
Sample complete. Ready to continue?